This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Now here I am with a group of five really interesting bunch of entrepreneurs who got together. I don't know if they got together on a day when they were all craving, the ice gola that you get in India, and that's why all of you came together and decided that you all are all going to make ice golas for other people. And you often do this. You turn up at parties and you have all of these different flavors, and you make the ice gola from a very genuine looking ice gola machine. Tell me, I'm going to start with you first. So tell me, where did this idea come about? And of all things, ice golas in a cold country like England? Are you trying to sell ice to the Eskimos? Is that what you're trying to do?
We visit India very often, and people are very reluctant when they go to India, because of hygiene, and they think the ice is dirty, so they never try it over there. Yeah. So we thought, why not bring it to London, and UK, and give everyone.
Do you have your kind of Asian parents telling you, no, beta, you cannot have food on the street?
That's always the case. Always the case. Yes.
Okay, but you still did manage to get a taste of this in India.
Yes, definitely. When you go to India, you have to try these things. It's a must.
You can't listen to parents. You can't listen to parents all the time.
You cannot. You cannot. Yeah.
Okay. And and it's safe to say all of you are ice gola fans. You all like this thing.
Yeah, we all love it.
Yeah, tell me a bit about your experience with the ice gola.
When I've been to India, I always have it because it's always really hot. So it's always something good to taste, something different, something new with all the different flavors. In India, they add loads of different nuts and cream, etc., making it quite different. I always have it regardless of my parents saying no, and I love it. And I think it's a good way to bring it here because I think people are always looking for something different in wedding, reception. We always have the typical chocolate fountain, etc. So I thought this would be something different. So.
Okay. And tell me, all of you are doing other 9-to-5 jobs, but in the evening, you all don an ice gola uniform, and all of you are wearing these black T-shirts. And you're trying to sell these ice golas to people here. But tell me a bit about that. How easy is it wearing two hats?
It's not so easy, especially when you're starting up. There's a lot of work to be done, so it's about trying to balance your work, one job with another job, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's been.
Which is more fun, the 9-to-5 one or selling ice?
I think the ice gola. It gives a great experience. You go out, you get to meet new people, and
your boss is not watching this. No?
They'll be happy for me as well. But it's just watching people's reaction when they eat the ice gola, experience something like this. They absolutely love it, and that really makes it all worth it.
Actually, that sets me up very well for my next question, which I want to ask you. Tell me, what kind of reactions do you get when you sell ice gola to people here in England? Have you generally tried to target only Asians, or have you gone beyond the Asian community? Who do you speak to?
We've gone beyond the Asian community, and when we actually do the gola stands, they actually are very, very happy because they say that they bring back their childhood memories. Even like the elderly, it's not just aimed at youngsters, it's aimed at all ages. And they're really happy because they must have had it when they were young.
Yeah. And what about non-Asian people? How do you explain an ice gola to them?
We basically try to say that it's an ice cone.
Yeah.
And they really loved it because we got all the different flavors.
Have you ever had any negative reactions? Anybody ever any negative reactions? People say, "Gosh, what is this?" You don't know what.
Not really, because all our customers, they're willing to try new flavors, and it's just a matter of fact of whether they like it or not.
Good businessmen, all of you, huh? No. We have never had any criticism. They just love our products. They fly off the shelf.
We try to offer a really wide range of flavors. Yeah. Currently today we brought about 25 flavors with us, but we can do up to 45 flavors. So there's always something.
Tell me what all flavors do you offer? In 20 seconds, name 20.
Bubblegum, butterscotch, mango, green mango, raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, mint, mango, galakata, citrus, fun, cherry, lychee, pomegranate, chiku.
Round of applause. Round of applause. Round of applause for this guy.
Introducing alcoholic golas as well.
Oh my gosh, alcoholic golas.
Yeah.
Wow,
so we tried it in our last event, which was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
gosh, so that's I should say this is taking golas to the next level. It's literally. Huh?
Yeah.
It's about we've got to take it to the next level. And people have had golas. We want to give people the opportunity to try golas, but then it's about doing something different with it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So people.
We want to aim to all different crowds.
Different crowds. Okay. And tell me, of all the flavors, which one is your favorite?
My favorite color is kalakata and orange mixed with that. You can mix with these two flavors, they're very nice. Yeah.
And this whole process of making this whole thing, and this is the very, very authentic looking machine. This is, this, like you said, it really brings back memories about, especially people who've come from India to this country, brings back childhood memories. Is that sort of part of this whole?
Yeah, that's true, because basically we've been to be a few events before, and we have seen the old peoples who are from India basically, but they are here. So after like 10 to 15 years, after so long time, they tried these flavors, and they were like very excited, and they were very fond. They said, gola, they bring the childhood memories in there.
And you
so
mix a little bit of alcohol, and then you can't get them to stop talking. Huh? Okay. And just before I conclude, I want to ask all of you. The one question that I've been a bit curious about, because the proof of any pudding is in tasting it, and also the proof of any gola is in tasting it as well and making it as well live in front of us. So why don't you give us a demo of how you make this, and explain to us as you're doing it what is it that you're doing?
Okay, here's a block. Basically, a block of ice sits up there, and then we have spikes at the bottom up here, and it basically clutches onto the ice.
Yeah.
And then we have blades at the bottom. So yeah, let me show you a demonstration.
Why don't you so you're actually kind of spinning the ice, and okay, so that's how you make a sort of crystal out of it. A big block of ice is made into sort of tiny crystals.
Lovely shaped ice over there, ready, for the mold and the syrups.
Yeah. Where did you get this machine from?
India.
From India.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, then what happens next?
Next, okay, I'll show you.
Sorry, what did you say? This guy comes in. Okay,
let me get in.
Let's. Yeah.
Okay, so the ice goes there.
Yeah.
So
I didn't mean to break your assembly line.
next job is to mold the ice.
Yeah.
So we shape it with this cone, this cup. It gives it a nice lolly shape. Press it down to make sure that ice is all compact and it sticks together.
Okay.
And that should give us a nice ice lolly.
Super.
Am
Am I at liberty to have this?
Yes.
But usually a flavor should go with it.
That's what we're going to do first.
Okay,
so let me take that off you.
What flavor should I try?
What kind of flavors do you like?
You tell me your favorite.
Mango.
Yeah. Let's go for mango.
Mango. We can mix it with flavors. That's what we tend to do. People like combinations of stuff. Okay. So mango and.
I'm gonna go for mango. I love mangoes. So you're putting the mango flavor in?
Yeah, I'm bringing the mango flavor at the moment. If you like to mix with anything else, like
which is your favorite?
you go for like lemon and lime something.
Yeah, let's do. But can you mix mango with lemon and lime?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, okay, let's do mango with lemon and lime. Am I supposed to be like one of those TV chef programs where I taste it and say, "Wow, this is lovely," or should I give you the honest opinion?
You give us honest opinion.
Honest opinion.
We're sure you'll enjoy it.
Okay. Should I go for it?
Let me hold your mic.
Yeah, please do. Okay. So you want to point it towards me? So okay, let's taste.
Moment of truth.
This really does bring back memories. This really does bring back memories, and I think
it tastes perfectly.
if that's what you wanted to do, you have succeeded. When I say the word gola, one word that comes to your mind.
Like flavored.
Tasty.
Ice.
Refreshing.
Parties.
Now, when elections were held in this country in 2010, out of 530 MPs who were elected to the House of Commons, less than 30 were from ethnic minority backgrounds. That's a really low number out of 530 MPs who got elected. And this is a problem that lots of people usually speak about in coffee table conversations about why is it that people from the Asian community don't come forward and join politics. I want to speak to 4 people here from very diverse backgrounds. You'll do all kinds of exciting things like banking and medical profession. But tell me, I mean, why is it that you think, what is it that holds people back from entering politics?
I think it's just that history that we've had where we've had to struggle, and I think coming into this country we've worked really hard to kind of be successful, and I think that we still see those barriers in politics to get to the next stage, and I think we are seeing a lot more people that are more local MPs and doing a lot more from our community, but I just don't think that we've got that many kind of role models that we can look up to go into politics.
Okay. So yeah, that's a fair point. Role models. I mean, that's one. I mean, people who you can say that, gosh, he's done so well, and maybe I should follow in his or her footsteps. But what about you?
I think people don't know how to get into politics. What it involves, what skills you need, how you would go about getting into different types of political roles.
Yeah.
And I think maybe for females, it's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
Thinking that they can't do it.
That's interesting. I mean, personally, would you, ever consider taking the leap, or would you think of yourself as, gosh, I'm a woman, I can't do this?
I'm not sure. Maybe a bit of both, if I'm honest.
Yeah. People from the South Asian community don't want to enter politics. They say that, hey, this is not my cup of tea. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think nowadays in the UK, people have used that term ethnic minority, but personally I think it's becoming ethnic majority now. There's a lot of us here, especially in the UK, and I think politics especially is one of those industries where there still is that barrier to entry. Because I think there is still, like as people said earlier, that there's in that kind of line of work there is a minority. So to break in, it is very challenging. So, but like I said, I mean, in other industries, I'm seeing it now, like my background is in media and fashion. I'm seeing more and more Asian people get into that line of work. So I can only hope that in the next few years, more people will get into politics.
So you're saying that other kind of, they're getting into professions that usually were dominated by,
arts, Yeah, I think fashion, creative arts, especially in the last 3 years, I'm seeing a huge uptick in the number of Asian.
Maybe politics is the next bastion.
Potentially, yeah. I think potentially, yeah.
The Prime Minister has spoken about this. He gave an interview to NDTV actually, where he said that he wants to see a Prime Minister in his lifetime. Do you think that'll happen?
Definitely. I think over the next 10 to 20 years, we'll see more and more people from Indian backgrounds, ethnic minorities in general, participating in the civic process. And I think the reason they haven't so far is because if you think about first-generation Indians when they first came over, for them it was about survival. They're in a new country, it's all about earning money, working hard and being able to provide for your family. And that work ethic was then given down to the next generation. So the next generation was encouraged to work hard, go to university, become a lawyer, doctor or accountant, because that ensured that survival instinct that we could then survive. And so in our culture...
Are you speaking from personal experience?
Yes, absolutely, and my friends' experiences. So as a second generation Indian...
For example, if you go back to your parents even now and you tell them, hey, I've decided to join politics, how do you think they'll react?
It won't be held in high esteem because it's not seen as a profession which pays well. You do it because you believe in it rather than it's going to ensure some kind of long-term financial stability. And I think as a friend was saying, as the generations pass, we will find that future generations will get more into media, the arts, politics, situations where we traditionally wouldn't have thought that Indians would professions where they wouldn't normally go into.
You'd expect that Asians would keep away from. Okay, and yeah, sure. I'll just come back to you. Yeah.
Exactly what he was saying is completely right. I think we're saying the first generation were here, they had to kind of make a name for themselves, struggle, survive. The next generation was focusing on being successful, how to make it. Now I think the new generation is more about how to make a difference, how to make a change, how to be creative, how to do something different. So I think we're starting to see that trend now with hopefully politics and creative arts.
And I want to also focus a bit about this thing about parents and the way they'd respond. If you went back to your parents and said, I've made up my mind, I'm joining this party and I'm going to go forward and contest the elections, how do you think they'd respond?
To be fair, my dad's a teacher and he was educated back in India, and he's kind of hasn't conformed to the typical kind of Asian following everything when he came to the country. So if I said that to my father, I think he'd be quite proud that I've actually made a name for myself. But
only after you've done your career in banking.
Obviously, obviously after I've got my MBA and my and everything else. But I think he's all for making a difference, and I think if we can make a difference for the generations to come, I think for us, we have to change the way and pave the way for the next generation.
Okay, and just before we wrap, this last point about a lot of people who say that, actually it's not just an Asian problem, but usually a lot of younger people are very disillusioned with politics in general. Is that true? I mean,
Yeah, I think that you need to get more people that actually can relate to these younger generation, to understand the the people that are living a different life. The people that
you personally, do you connect with politicians? I mean, do you think?
Not really. I'm from Birmingham originally. I've worked my way up. I've worked in working class background. And the politicians are all private school educated, and I don't really have anything in common with them. And I think that there's more and more people like politicians coming through, MPs that are from underprivileged backgrounds, and they're the ones that are going to make the difference and going to make people vote, the younger generation.
And this is an interesting point. I mean, anyone have thoughts on this? That kind of the class divide, that you don't connect with these posh boys from private schools. I mean, it's just very difficult to do that. I mean, do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think that's because the kind of person that wants to go into politics generally has been educated often in a private school or with parents who've kind of had an interest in making a difference in the world, and therefore it's not an area in which, say, people from a working class background or whatever, they haven't had that background. I think it's about the background and the interest in that area. But I think that as time goes on, I think more and more people will become interested when the politicians are able to create something which can engage people. And so to some extent, if we looked at the Scottish referendum, for instance, that really engaged people because it was an issue that mattered to people. And so in some ways, yes, we want to encourage people to engage in the political process, but at the same time, disinterestedness in the political process actually shows the success of democracy. Because in some ways,
people think that it's all fine, we don't need to get.
Our lives are fine. We can vote for Labour, vote for Conservative. There's not going to be that much difference in how our lives are going to shift and change. Whereas suddenly the Scottish referendum, that's actually a massive material.
Make or break issue,
Exactly. And the Middle East, for instance, people are prepared to vote, put their lives on the line for their freedoms. We in the West we're so lucky in the sense that we have democracy. It works. We have pretty good lives, and that is also part of fueling the disinterestedness in it. And so it's up to politicians to create a kind of a way and a method or a cause that actually drives people to take part in the civic process.
Gosh, y'all are all such good talkers. Y'all should all join politics.
Actually, I think just on that point, just related completely to what you said, I think because of that, here in the West, there's a lot of drive and motivation for success and wealth. So I think that drives people to focus on things which are outside of politics. But along the lines, I think we need people, especially from Asian backgrounds or whatever, to go in and say, actually, success and wealth is great, it's one thing, but perhaps I want to do something different, make a difference in a slightly different way. But because of that freedom, I think there's been a motivation for success and wealth in this country as well as the West. Whereas I think other countries, maybe they have to kind of fight more for democracy or fight more for a certain political drive or whatever it might be.
Very cool. I mean, some of the all of you were reluctant talkers in the beginning, but after I have spoken to you, I mean, I'd vote for any of you.
Can't stop us.
Can't stop you guys, and I'd vote for any of you.